this conversation we're going to talk about is texting and driving. When you text, do you think about the life that you could be risking, someone else's life that you could be risking, or what's actually going through your mind as you're reading that text when you're driving down the road? Is that the safest thing that could happen? Texting while you're driving is not a smart idea to do. I don't text and drive because I know that no matter what comes through my phone, it's not as important to me as my life is. It is so dangerous. So many people lose their lives just from one simple text message. We're going to talk about the statistics of texting and driving, laws that have been passed or laws that are trying to be passed, and what the future has in store for people that are texting and driving. First, 18% of all drivers text while they're driving. That came from the cell phone and texting accident statistics site. And 6,000 deaths and 500,000 injuries are caused by distracted drivers every year. That's a lot in comparison to how many people actually do it. In 2009, 5,474 people were killed in the U.S. because of accidents that involved distracted driving. Another 448,000 were injured. Distracted while driving can be anything from playing on their radio, trying to find the best station that they wanted to listen to, trying to find something on their phone, surfing the internet, playing games, talking on the phone, texting, anything that could distract you from keeping your eyes off the road. Answering a text takes away your attention for about 5 seconds while you're driving. Think about how long 5 seconds is and how much you can get done in 5 seconds. Just that short time, you could go off the road into a ditch and not even know. You could be on the side of the road in the river and not even know. No one could find you because no one was around, just in a matter of 5 seconds. Over 1/3 of all young drivers aged 24 and under are texting on the road, and that came from cell phone and texting accident statistics. 1/3, so 1 out of 3 people my age are texting someone or doing anything on their phone that could cause them to wreck. 18% of injuries crashes in 2009 were reported as distractive affective crashes, meaning they were distracted enough to crash into someone else's car and cause them to get injured. And that came from what is distracted driving. Next, we're going to talk about laws that have been passed. Reckless driving can be punished with a fine up to $500 and up to 90 days in jail. That comes from the dangers of texting and driving. There is no real law against texting and driving. It just comes from reckless driving. That's how they classify all texting and driving right now. Drivers under the age of 18 are prohibited to use any cell phone, any electronic devices while they are driving. They are to maintain full focus on the road and not to have any distractions in the car with them. And right now, Governor Rick Perry has not passed any legislation for texting for all drivers. This is under the Texas cell phone laws and legislation. Legislation has been proposed, but Governor Rick Perry turned it down. So cities within the state are going in and making their own city laws, as we see in San Antonio. They have their own law about distracted driving and talking on the cell phone while you are driving. You're not allowed to do it. It's prohibited. We also have the law about the no electronics in the school zones to kind of help with the texting while driving, just because so many kids are in those zones and are walking home or doing something and they don't always understand or pay attention to what is really going on. They are more concerned about them getting home and what they're talking to with their friends than who's driving on the road and who's paying attention. They have issued fines in school zones, and that's a big factor that has recently come in. Currently, 9 states have laws on the books banning texting while driving. Washington was the pioneer for this movement, and it passed its law in 2007. Alaska, California, Illinois, Louisiana, Minnesota, Nebraska, New Jersey, and Oregon all followed shortly after. And there the driving while texting statistics is where I got that information. Last, what does the future have in store for texting and driving? Texas probably won't ever see a statewide texting ban until really far into the future, because no one here thinks that the government should pass a law. They think that it should be passed between each city, and the city should decide for themselves what is banned and what is not. More accidents are to come from texting and driving, so we can see a ban maybe being proposed in our city just because of the accidents and the amount of accidents that are happening. Statistics will continue to go up. They have continued to go up through the years that texting has been around. They're not going down. Everyone is seeing them rise. And so in conclusion, texting and driving, statistics will improve understanding, and we will get a greater understanding of what is texting and driving and what it really means to us. More laws are going to be out, and more awareness is going to come out from texting and driving. So next time you turn on your cell phone while you're driving, think about, does this text message that you're receiving from your friend or from someone you don't even know, is that the text message that could be life or death for you? Is it worth losing your life over?